In this video, we are going to calculate the expected return, variance, and standard deviation of a portfolio. In this portfolio, we have stock X and stock Y. Stock X represents 70% of the portfolio, and stock Y represents the rest, which is 30%. So those are going to be the weights for this portfolio. Here are the returns of the stocks depending on the potential state of the economy. If there's a boom, stock X will have 29% return. Normal will have 11% return. Recession or loss is 17%. And these are the ones for stock Y, the expected returns depending on each state, the expected return of each state. So our first calculation is going to be the portfolio return on each state of the economy. So if there's a boom, what we're going to do is a weighted average of the returns of each stock under that economic situation. So if it's a boom, I can go ahead and take the weight of stock X. And since the weight doesn't change, I'm going to put dollar signs there to lock that in place, times the return of stock X if there's a boom, plus the weight of stock Y, since the weight of stock Y is not going to change, times the return of stock Y if the economy has a boom. So the portfolio return in a boom situation would be about 26.3%. We repeat the process for normal, for recession. Weight times return plus weight times return. Just like we did here, except that we're using the returns for the normal situation. For the recession situation, but the weight's always the same. Now that we have that, we can move on to calculate the expected return, variance, and standard deviation of the portfolio. Similar to how we did with an asset, we're going to do something similar here. So they give us the probability of the boom is 15% or 0.15, the probability of a normal situation, and the probability of a recession. If you add them all together, you get 1 or 100%. So what is the return if the boom happens? Well, we already calculated that for the portfolio up here. So we can just equal it to that. And that's what we should get on average if there's a boom in the economy. So all we're doing is grabbing the same values we already calculated here. Here, they're telling you to just multiply column 2 by column 3 for the expected return. So we're going to get some values that are going to give us expected return. This is doing a weighted average. This is the same as doing as a weighted average, but we're using the probabilities as the weights. So we take each one of them. Weighted by the probability. And our last step, we're going to add them all together. We're going to use the AutoSum function in Excel. So sum, and it suggested itself to use those three. Excel suggestion is correct. And that is expected return on the portfolio, 7.77%. Now that we have the expected return, we can use that to eventually get variance. So the return deviation from the expected return. It's, as it says there, column 3 minus the expected return. So whatever is here minus this. This is going to be column 3 minus our expected return. I'm going to lock that one in because it's going to be the same number on the expected return for all of them. As you can see, it's each one of them minus that. Okay, now we're going to use these values, get column 6. Now column 6 is simple squared of column 5. That's what it's telling you. Square return deviation from expected return. What they're saying is square column 5. So we're just going to go ahead and multiply by itself. And those are the squares. We're going to use those to apply the weight on it, which is the probability. And then we're going to add them together to get the variance. So as you see there, it says multiply column 2 times column 6. So we're going to use column 2 as the weight, the probability functions as the weight, times the squared return deviation from expected returns. This number that we calculated there. So we take that, multiply by that, and it gives us the value we want. We take that, multiply by that, and we have the 3 values that we want. Column 2 times column 6, and so on. And then for variance, go to AutoSum. It suggested those are the 3 we want to add together. And that is the variance of the portfolio. And as always, to get the standard deviation, all you do is take the square root. That is the SQRT is the square root name for the square root function in Excel. Select your variance value. And 12.13% is the variance of your portfolio. I'm sorry, the standard deviation of your portfolio. 12.13% standard deviation of your portfolio. That's it for this video. See you on the next one.